What's going on, everybody? It's Steve back with Ziggy's Lawn and Landscape. We are right beside our Toro Grandstand Multiforce 52-inch mower deck. We bought this at the end of 2021, so it doesn't have very many hours on it. It has 135 hours, which is not a lot at all. We didn't really use it much for cutting grass. It was mostly for the Multiforce, which is the mulch bucket right there, which was a huge game changer last year. I don't know why we didn't buy one of these earlier, but unfortunately we have some hydraulic transmission issues. We pulled it out of the trailer the other day for the first time in a couple months, and it had a big puddle of hydro fluid on the wood underneath it. At step one, I think where it's leaking from, it's going to be easier if the mower deck is off. We're not going to be cutting grass here for another, I don't know, 7 weeks or so, and we're not going to be using this to start the season for grass anyway. So we're going to get the deck off, we're going to get that hooked up, and we're going to service the transmission. We already did the engine oil change in another video, and the filter and everything, and checked the tire pressures and everything. Everything's good. We just got to figure out where this leak is coming from. So last year we were using this as like a backup for lawn maintenance, but we were using it every day for mulch. So I had it's easier to have the deck off, in my opinion, when you're mulching, so you don't spill all sorts of mulch and it lands on top of the pulleys and it gets stuck in the idler pulleys. I was literally taking this deck off pretty much every week, putting it on for like a Monday to go cut the lawns that we had to cut with it, and then taking it right back off and putting the Multiforce back on to finish the week with all of our mulch jobs. It works well with trimming jobs. We were running River Rock with this thing too, so we'll show how easy it is. It's very, very quick to take the mower deck off. It's not a lot of bolts whatsoever. It's 2 on this side, 2 on that side, 2 nuts in the front, and then the belt, and it comes right off. You can slide it right out. And then we will be putting this in storage for, I don't know, 2 months or so. But we'll be having the mower deck will be in storage, but we'll have the Multiforce hooked up and ready to go. So you're going to need a 9/16 or a 14 millimeter, and you can it's basically right here. Likewise on the other side, and then the front 2 supports, and then the belt pops right off and it'll slide right out. And one thing to keep an eye on too is when you put this back together, make sure it's either in the same exact spot that you took it off, or you have to put a level on the deck and make sure the deck is level. You don't want it to be pitched too far back or too far forward. Your heights will be off. Say you're looking to cut at 3.5 inches, you might be cutting it at 3 1/4, or even lower or even higher. You just got to make sure everything's level. What I like to do is I like to leave the bolts with the mower deck so they're not dangling and there's a chance of them vibrating off and you're losing them. But that was very easy. I like to use the swivel actually for this side because of this knob that's here. We have enough juice to take this off. You can see it's been leaking onto the mower deck too. Yeah. But that was actually maybe when we changed it. Okay, if you heard that or not, the deck is now laying flat onto the ground. We just have 2 small supports in the front to take off, and then the belt, and it'll come off. On this side. Yeah. Simple as that. Pull the tires out front here. Probably thinking, why am I taking the deck off so often to cut the grass? Why not just leave it on? Like I said, you'll get mulch that'll spill down here and it'll get stuck on your pulleys, and when you go, if you don't blow it out when you go to cut grass again, everything will be stuck in here. And it's very, very easy to take these off.
And the belt will fall off if it gets mulch wedged in.
Basically, if you push, belt will automatically loosen itself up by pushing it that way, and that's it. We're ready to pull this right out. Except for, and then we raise up the height back up to get
there you go.
And then this will slide right out. That's it.
That's what we're looking at. You can see the bottom of that plate is wet. I can see it from here.
I think it's a hose clamp that came loose or something.
All right, so we just got it up on the skid steer and we just looked at it real quick. Pretty sure it's a hose.
It's just a hose. I think the hose clamp came loose, which once again, it sucks because the machine's almost brand new, but it is what it is. Some of the guys on here would probably just drop it off at the dealer, but that's not us. We fix everything that breaks of ours. We do our own maintenance. I forget what I have to do here to get this off. I think I just have to loosen up these nuts. It'll swing down. We're going to do a hydro service with the 2 filters in each hydro. Top off the reservoir, bleed the system, and just fix that hydro leak, and then this thing will be ready to roll. As you can see, we got our Multiforce bucket hooked up. If you guys haven't seen this in action yet, scroll back to our older videos when we were doing mulch with it last year. It was the first year of mulching with it. And this takes the place of a really big black wheelbarrow, maybe even more than that, plus the guy you'd have to hire to run that wheelbarrow, plus the guy that would replace that guy because he's going to get tired. All by a flip of a switch and some hydraulic controls. We'll just show real quick how this works. It's as easy as that. It's called the Multiforce because it has this 2-inch implement hitch that runs off of a piston, which runs off of low flow hydraulics. Like we said, you can put any attachment on this that you want, and as you can see, it's a hydraulic wheelbarrow that drives. So how can you beat this when, especially nowadays when no one wants to work? You rely on your equipment, it's going to show up to work every single day. But you could just see here how much stuff you could fit in here: mulch, rock, dirt, whatever you want to fit in it. We've definitely overloaded this, maybe a little bit, maybe a lot. But this thing works wonders. We may add another one of these at some point in the future, but we can't imagine doing mulch without this. Maybe I am taking off a little bit too much. I think
These knobs, is the knob out?
Oh, you know what? The whole thing has to come off. I thought it was a quick, the knob and then the spacer, and then it'll open. Yeah, you just pop the little spacer out, and the whole thing will flip down. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I see. Okay.
Okay, we got this to fold down. Here's our plate. I've had this fuel tank out before to put on the leaf blower attachment, so yeah, it just pops right out. Just watch you don't pull on your fuel lines too much. Okay.
Do you have to disconnect or you just leave it hooked up?
What's that?
The fuel tank.
We could. Let's disconnect it just to show everyone a little bit easier.
All right. Yeah.
We'll stick that to the side. Wrap it up and around. Very nice. That comes off very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, well here's the business end of it. I'm going to clean these fins out. Here's the line that is leaking.
I see
the
it.
line goes down too.
Into the
Hydro, right?
the 90-degree.
I wonder if the clamps are just bad. Because that comes from the reservoir. This line. It goes into each hydro. And they use pinch clamps. I don't really like those. Easy fix, but it's just disappointing that these weren't put in.
Yeah, I
properly.
can see where it's leaking. It's all wet on right there. It looks like where it's going in.
This one's not leaking.
Is it broken? Is it the hose broken? Did it get hit by the fan?
No, you have a clamp on a hose clamp is on the bottom, and then you have a pinch clamp here. That's what they use for the sprinkler. Same thing as this one. This is definitely loose.
Yeah.
Yep, see it right
It
there.
is loose. It's moving. So just a new hose clamp?
Yeah. We'll maybe pinch that tighter and put a hose clamp with it.
Yeah.
But it starts with draining the fluid first.
The fluid's all got to come out anyway.
Yeah, so let's drain the fluid, and then we'll repair that while there's no fluid in it. Okay, so take the cap off. It's a 3/8 extension. It'll fit right into the cap. There's an O-ring on this cap. And we'll let each thing drain. There's one on that side, one on this side. The filter will come right out. There we go.
Where is it, the hose? Yeah.
It's this one.
Oh yeah, so it's a little 90-degree connector.
Yep. I'm gonna do all of them, right?
I guess so.
These pinch clamps just weren't tight enough. We're not gonna tighten them. We're just gonna replace them. Loosen up this seal. Simple hose clamp. I don't know why they didn't do that from the factory. But
Coming. There it goes.
yeah, it's like a sprinkler fitting, basically. It's literally what it is. Everyone's probably tired of hearing me complain about everything being broken.
Yeah.
Some people don't know how to fix their own stuff.
I mean, but these things are totally avoidable. These are just things that we're encountering are stupid saving money, cutting cost things that the big companies are doing.
It's like, why not use a really strong, even like an injection line,
Yeah,
the clamp.
one of those clamps with the bolt.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, you got it?
Replaced them with hose clamps. Before it was just swiveling left and right. We wanted to pop right out with these things, and we just replaced them with hose clamps, and that should be it. We should never have to touch that again. Yeah. So guys, we got the leak is fixed, and we changed the 2 filters, and we drained the oil. We found out that there's 2 more drain plugs, one on each side, a little bit lower than the filter is, and we're getting about another half a quart to 3/4 quart of old oil out. I mean, mark me if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a few YouTube videos on here on how to service the grandstand hydros, and I've only seen them drain the fluid through the actual filters. I've never seen anyone take, I've only watched about 5 or 6 of the videos, but no one's ever taken off the nut that sits below it, below grade about a couple inches, and we're getting another half quart out of each side of dirty, crappy oil.
Yeah.
So that's just a side note. We really want to get all this bad oil out of here, the old oil, because it served its job, it's lived its life, and it's time for fresh oil. Good?
Yeah.
So they're watching us?
Yeah.
All right, I think it's 3 quarts per side, so we'll see. We did take that extra quart out total, so.
You can see it?
Yeah. It's almost full.
Yeah. All right, here we go. The left side's done.
Left side's done.
Came up and it bled.
A little bit of spillage.
We need just a little bit more for the right. I guess it makes sense. It fills the left side up first, right?
Because it's running one line, and then it has
Yeah.
a T.
So we need.
I have one out already.
Oh, you do? Where?
I'm already on top of it. That's right here. Just don't fill it all the way to the top.
All right, just wrapping things up. Successfully got it to bleed. Now we're just putting it all back together. We adjusted the parking brake actually while we were there. It was getting kind of loose, so now it feels a little bit better. This machine should be ready to go for mulch season. We just got the back plate.
Yeah. Holds the fuel tank in. So.
Should be it, right?
Okay. It's filled with fluid. We are right to the cold fill mark. What we see a lot of people do is they drain the oil, they fill it back up after they change the filters and everything on the hydros, and they get the air out of the system by the bleed valves, but as soon as they go to start the machine, there's still another step. At least I believe, and that's what we've always done, is pull the neutral bypass switches out so when you do engage the hydros, the wheels won't move, it's in neutral. And you're supposed to move these back and forth, I don't know, 5 or 6 times each, and that'll work any additional air out of the system. And then you can top it off with fluid. Sometimes people just literally just start driving it, and there still could be air in the system, and it's putting pressure against the seals and everything inside the hydros. You can also jack up the back end of the machine while the wheels are still engaged, and do it that way with the wheels spinning if you don't have a neutral switch. We already have it engaged, disengaged, or engaged, I guess. It's in neutral now, so we're just going to rock this back and forth a little bit, circulating, I guess, more. We should be good to go. We'll be able to top it off as needed. looking to wrap this one up, that's a full service on the Toro Multiforce. It'll also work for all the grandstands that are out there. Maybe the filters might be in a different location underneath, but it's a basic setup of how you change the hydros. And then we had to repair the one line. Just gave it a good once over. We set the mulch bucket up. We are turnkey, ready to go mulching. As soon as the grass grows, we'll be able to throw the mower deck back on and start cutting grass. But the Multiforce is a multi-capable machine, so that's why we bought it. Wonderful for mulch. It's wonderful for grass. Leaf plow on the front. This thing is a game changer. If you don't have one, you've never heard of one, definitely check it out. Definitely look into it. If you're interested, check out your local Toro dealer. Wonderful machine. That'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Throw a comment down what you guys thought about this machine. And that's it. Subscribe to the channel and give us a like.
And we just opened up our merch store. So if you want to purchase a sweatshirt or a t-shirt or something that looks similar to what Steve's wearing, you want to just turn around real quick.
It's all dirty, but
this one's a work one, but it won't have the phone number on it. It just says the logo on the back, and it says Get Ziggy with it. So it's going to be on our merch store. Link will be below. No, that's it.
That'll be a good support to our channel. We also thank everyone who's been supporting us all along, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yep.